so nice there. I mean, you got like
nice,
water. It's way bigger.
You got water.
At the end of the day, it's like we're all on the same like kind of squad.
Yeah.
Episode number 2 of Open Mic. Doing episode number 2 without even posting episode number 1 and getting the feedback before I do it. So we're just gonna try it out. I got a little bit of a different setup, a little bit of a more appropriate camera angle. The first camera angle is a little jacked up or whatever. Yeah, so this is going to be like the post plans. I'm going to just like kind of do this. I mentioned in the first episode that the plan was to kind of do like post shows kind of thing with either just myself or myself and Julia. I'm sure I'll do one with Julia at some point. But I'm just I want to keep doing these and like getting better at it. It took a long time until I got comfortable with doing the podcast, and I'm still learning with that. But I'm like, especially like I keep saying like the second season, like kind of like from Brighter Green, which was, I don't even know, episode 20, I don't know, 24 or something, 23, 24, I think, whatever. And to now, I've definitely been like pretty confident with like all of those episodes. And so I just got to kind of keep doing these solo casts and seeing what happens. Hopefully they're going well. I'm going to try to like talk a little bit about the show, and then that hopefully you just listened to or watched or whatever. And then try to at least have one topic to talk about. Like I said, these are going to be like 20 to 30 minutes tops. So anyway, so yeah, plans came in. Likely you listen to that. If you haven't, like if you have yet to check them out. Their second EP, What You Forgot, is so incredible. It's one of the best things I've heard all year, and this was a great year for music, man. Like especially locally, it was a great year for music. And yeah, like their first, so I met them when we played with them in Waterloo in November at the Harmony Lunch. They played, and I was blown away, man. They're so good. And we hit it off like right away before, or when we, like after the show, we talked for a bit and hit it off. And I've been talking to Max for a while now, actually. And we've been like trying to plan stuff for the summer with our two bands. And I think that's so cool, because we've made friends with like a lot of bands, like Frantic Lullabies we played with, and those guys are really great. But we have yet to like really like make a friendship with a band that is like totally our style, and like totally a band that it makes sense that we go play shows with them. And that's really exciting, and hopefully there's more bands. We're playing another show with Ready the Prince coming up, and those guys are like the sweetest dudes of all time, and hopefully that's not the last time we play with them either. But it's exciting to like have like a brother band or whatever where we can like plan, and like we're both like stoked on each other's music and want to go out and kind of like conquer as much as we can. So I'm stoked on that. And like What You Forgot is like probably one of my favorite releases this year, and that's like, man, like there was some great shit that came out this year. Like I was thinking about compiling like actually it's funny, so what my plan was this year was to kind of start like a music blog sort of thing, and like really focus on local music, which I like bought the domain and everything, and like kind of had it set up, and just it wasn't quite ready to release. And then I got the London Reverb offer, and I was kind of like, okay. And I'm hosting like the podcast and everything off of this website, but it's just not like, technically you could go get it, but like, or go look at it, but there's really nothing on there to look. But I was starting to like build like these lists and stuff, because I know that like a lot of the bands that I have on, like their following is a lot bigger than mine at this moment. But I still want to keep that, like, just in case I do grab anybody extra, like if a Plants fan listens to their podcast and then starts digging a little deeper, maybe into bands they don't know. Because, man, like a lot of the bands I have on here, they do like a quick little, they either skim through some episodes or listen to some episodes. And so many people are like, man, I checked out like the Bodhi Jar episode, or like I checked out the Basic White episode or whatever. And so people are digging it. They're going to like start maybe looking around to other artists that they don't know. And so I was thinking about, like, I obviously just have my own Spotify account. And it's funny because I had one built that, again, like wasn't out there. for this like blog that I was gonna do, and then again, like I never put it out or anything. But the other day I had a thought where I was like, I should like I should do the playlist again, but just have it be like a We Should Jam Sometime thing, of just like my favorite like singles or whatever in 2018. And then the Gatsby guys did that. Now theirs wasn't like specific to locals. They wanted to like start curating some playlists, which is a great idea. And I was like, motherfuckers, like I was about to announce that, and then they got it. So it's gonna look like I was copying them, but I didn't. Not intentionally was I copying you guys. So I'm gonna work like this weekend though on kind of doing that, and probably just make like a 2018 one of stuff that you guys should listen to. It'll probably be like, it probably won't be like genre specific, because like I could definitely do like a rock one. Like I'm definitely more of a rock guy, but like for the few like indie or like kind of like folk stuff that's out there's not enough to like make its own playlist. So it'll probably just sort of be like a Southern Ontario like local playlist kind of thing. Of people that have been like anybody that's been on the podcast that put anything out this year, and then a few others of maybe some potential guests in the future, hopefully. I got some I need to start working backwards, because I have some guests that are dream guests kind of right now. But I need to start reaching out to some other smaller bands. So it's cool. This is 34 episodes with Plants, and I think that I've only had two repeat guests, I think. Yeah, I've only had Anella's been on twice, and Liam of Esther's Family has been on twice. So yeah, so like 34 episodes, 32 different artists, guests, whatever. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So go if you're watching this first for whatever reason, go check out the Plants interview. Go listen to their new EP, What You Forgot. It's so good, man. It's so good. It's 5 songs. It's like 20 minutes, man. That's what's great about the EP. Like, you got the time. You know what I mean? Go on a run or something. Go to the gym. Throw it on your way to work. It's really fucking killer. And what I like about it, because it's definitely felt like they got into the rhythm a little bit. We were talking about their first EP and how it they were trying to like sort of revive sort of that like rap rock thing, and they just didn't really feel that it was working. Where with the second EP, they really you could tell that they really dove in and weren't necessarily trying to be anything but who they are. And I think that same with Lost Arts. I'm proud of the first EP, but there's new songs that we're working on now that are so much better than those 5, and I think that that's important, and I think that there should be a progression, and there's an obvious if and when we ever get new music out, I think that you're gonna notice that, or if you come to a live show, we're playing a lot of the new songs now, you're gonna see that and hear that. Yeah. So, and there's riffs and stuff on that, and Sam's voice is so powerful and strong, but it's so delicate, and the music is so heavy on this new one, and I think that the blend of those two things are so great. When I told Josh, my buddy Josh, to listen to it a couple of days ago, he's like, man, listen to it, and he's like, it's awesome. And he's like, the first time I put it on though, it took me a couple songs to get the vocal blend, because when you first hear it, you're like, oh man, because the music's so heavy and it grooves hard, and he was like, I was a little underwhelmed at first with the vocal, but it's because I didn't really get it at first, which is totally fun. We talked about that too with Plants, was good music isn't necessarily going to grab you right away. That's not what makes it good. And that's what's so great about music, is there's nothing that really there's formulas for sure. But I mean, by now I'm a huge Queens of the Stone Age fan, and that wasn't the first, it wasn't because the first time I listened to them, it clicked. I actually distinctly remember listening to a couple songs specifically off of Era Vulgaris, which is not the album to start on, in my opinion. And I was like, no, this is definitely not for me at all. And then a couple, like, I don't know, like a month went by, and I was like just bored, and I tried again, and I listened to Lost Art of Keeping a Secret, and I was like, oh no, this is fucking amazing. Like, this is the best band of all time. And I still stand by that. And I think I was like 15 or something when I discovered that, or 16. I don't know. Crazy. But yeah, man, I hope that's all I gotta say about Plants. So go check out the EP, go check out the episode. And also, if you're in London, and specifically an MIA student, we're playing with Plants and Ready the Prince at the Chum Bucket. If you're in London, you're welcome to come. But the reason I say that is we're also playing Rum Runners the week after. It just kind of happened that way. It's not like the most ideal thing to do, and we don't usually do that, but it was sort of like both shows we didn't want to pass up. So, if you're not in, the house show is going to be fucking big anyway, so it brings in all the MIA students. But, I think come to the Rummers. It's the Jailbirds release show, and I think that would be cool. Jailbirds were on the podcast. I don't remember what episode number, like 30 or no, not 30, like 28, I think. Yeah. So come check that out. They're putting the album out finally, and Vulture's playing Ruckus, which is crazy. Like, we played our first show with Vulture's playing Ruckus, so that'll be cool. We haven't played with them since. So, and I don't know what show number that'll be, but yeah. So it should be fun. The Ready the Prince Plants show. We didn't really get to play house shows last year, so for whatever reason, circumstances out of our control. So it's cool this year that the guys that are running the house shows are cool, fair guys that are trying to put on shows. So that's great. And it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really wicked. I'm stoked for those. And I think like the Ready the Prince show is like they're releasing a new single. It's gonna be like a release party kind of thing. It's gonna be absolutely unreal. It's gonna be the most legendary house show of all time. So yeah, and that's kind of like that's the start of our year in 2019. So like Lost Arts has a lot of plans that I'm not really gonna get into, besides like we're gonna try to do as many shows as possible. I think this is kind of the year that I want to just really get out there and go for it and do as much as we can. Hopefully Juno Fest is a thing for us. Hopefully Canadian Music Week is a thing for us. And we're just gonna try to play as many shows as possible. We want to get back in the studio. We recorded a bunch of demos actually, and there's more that we haven't recorded yet that we're going to record. I know we haven't booked studio time yet, but we're not shooting for another EP. That's not the deal. I think now that we have the EP out and we're like starting to form a little bit of a fan base, I think that's not the move anymore. I think that now we have content out there. There's something out there for people to go listen to. I think the singles are the move at this point. And we just want to be a little more like succinct. I want to be a little bit more on top of it with the artwork. I want to be a little bit more on top of it with our promotion. I love this, man. I love being in a band so much, and I love singing and writing, and like I love those guys. Like my bandmates, I love Nick and Drake and Hayden, and I love playing shows. Man, playing shows is so much fun, man. And like it's funny because I'm like a shy guy, but I fucking love playing shows, man, so much. And yeah, so yeah, we have not like the reason I don't want to talk about it too much is because I tend to just talk about shit, and then it doesn't get done, and I don't like that. I don't like when I see people doing that, and that's the thing with like, that's the thing with like bands, right? Is like, there's so many like Merry Christmas, and it's like, I get it if you went out and you did stuff, but I don't even think that Lost Arts did enough this year to really be like, thank you so much, Like I made a post after we kind of played a few shows after after the EP, but I was thinking the bands that we played with and people were coming out to those shows and stuff, but I just don't think that we have enough of a fan base where people are like, on the edge of their seats for us, you know what I mean? And that's not to knock the people that are like very supportive every day of what we're doing, but it's just that's a very small group of people. And I just think that like I have no interest in playing Rockstar, and I think a lot of people like to play Rockstar because they're doing it, and like I just think that I just don't see how that's beneficial, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's you can fake it till you make it or whatever, but there's something that's very disingenuous about that, and I think that you need to just be who you are. And I know that I was talking to the plants too, but like finding that it's hard to just be like the band that's mysterious nowadays. Like you can't just come out of the gate like being mysterious, you know. And that's what makes a lot of bands great. That's what makes like Queens of the Stone Age great, or like even we were talking about like the Arctic Monkeys are like that now. But you can't. It's tough, especially now, to come out of the gate that way because people want to see your personality. People want to see you doing stuff, and that's tough for our band because I'm the only one that is. I mean, this isn't a knock to those guys, but like I'm the only one that's like outwardly conscious about that, and I kind of run everything, and that's not to say that nobody else can, but like Nick and Hayden are very like to themselves, and they like to like they're both incredible because they're to themselves and they practice and become incredible, right? And Drake's like a really great idea guy, you know, but I'm the one like that only would think like we should film this right now, or like I'm just gonna set a camera up over here just in case anything happens or whatever, you know what I mean? And then like I'm the one driving all the shows, so like there's nobody thinks to like take their phone out and like get some shit for Instagram. And there's been some like funny stuff that happens in the car, and like nobody's like getting it, you know, which is fine. Again, not a knock to anybody. This is something that we're very open about, because there's the other hand of like it's just enjoying those moments for ourselves too, you know, and that's great. It doesn't lessen that experience for me anytime. Like just like the one thing I'm thinking about is coming home from Waterloo. Nick and Hayden had this incredible argument about like movies. And it was awesome, and it like got heated in like a really like in a good way, and it was just like, oh man, like it was so good, and we still talk about it like to this day. And it's just like it would have been great if somebody caught it because there was some really really good sound bites in that, and yeah, that like it's just shit like that would be great. And it's just trying to find your personality, you know. Even doing this, like I'm just kind of rambling. I'm sure like the first episode was probably a little awkward, and the first like 12 minutes until I started talking about what I'm talking about right now, it's like a little awkward because again, I love doing the podcast and I want to keep putting out content, but I don't want to just be doing this to be doing it, you know. I want to do like and which is like kind of what I'm doing right now, but I really love it, and I want to try to make it bigger than it is. But it can only be that way if the content's good, and I think that's maybe an issue right now, is that people want to be famous and people want to be, you know, want to be the guy. And I get that way, man. Like there's so many, you know, friends that I have or whatever, and it is like, you know, there's that line of like I'm happy for so many people, but also I want to be that guy. You know, I want to go to Rum Runners and have people know who I am, which is maybe a little arrogant, but it's because, you know, I find like I love the community of that. Like I love being like, holy fuck, that's, you know, Addison from Lost in Japan or whatever, right? That's Dan Wag from Sneaker Club or something, you know. And like after I released show, it's happened like 3 or 4 times at Rum Runners, which is awesome. You know, it felt good, man. It felt good for somebody to like recognize who I was, who I've never spoken to before. But what I'm trying to get across is that I love London. You know, right now I love this sort of life that I've found for myself here. And man, like I know I'm not the best singer and I'm not probably the best musician or whatever, but I care a lot about people, and I need to be out more. I'm also just fucking lazy as shit too, you know. You know, but I like there's pride in being in like knowing the guys from Lost in Japan and knowing the guys from Bodie Jar or whatever, or Basic White, like seeing those guys, like my relationship with those guys is like just so like fucking wholesome, you know what I mean? Like when I think just about like how that relationship came to be, it's like also it's all because of this fucking podcast, and I think that's what a lot of like this is a lot, man, is just for me. You know what I mean? And I know there's other people out there like me, and like it's for them too, and it's for people that aren't like me, and it's whatever, But I'm like really appreciative of the people that have helped us so far, whether it's guys in other bands or it's like Brandon Eady or whatever, my other friends, other promoters, man, like Kyle from Waterloo, who books at Harmony, like he was really fucking nice. And Dino from the H, if you watch that Instagram story I put up about our whole Oshawa debacle, that guy seems like really fucking great, and I can't wait to meet him someday. The music business gets a lot like a bad rap, and man, like fuck if I know what I'm talking about with the music business. I've been like only really doing it for like a year, and I'm nowhere fucking close to dealing with the music business. But I had a little bit of experience with other bands, a little bit of experience with promoters, and I think that I just think that this whole thing is like really crazy, and I appreciate my ride thus far. I hope it's not over anytime soon. But I think that that's the thing. I don't have any interest in playing Rockstar. Like I said, I just want to do this the best that I can do it, and I want my band and my friends to do it and participate in it to the best of their ability, and I want I want to have, man, like I look up to other bands and think, if I did that and it was over now, I think I would be like, I'd be okay with that. I think that life is weird, because I think, I don't, speaking only from my own point of view, obviously, but I was always kind of trained that you get a job and then that's what you do, and although that's not really true, and I assume, especially now, like my parents have sort of warmed up more to the idea of me of doing this and trying it, is maybe I only get to do the band thing until I'm 27, and hopefully it's because something comes up that's better. I know that there's people that they get to 30 and they're like, I can't do, like I gotta get a job and like have a family and stuff. But I think that you just have to like look at your life now and think like where are you and where do you want to be, and you got to chase that until the race is over. Like I went home, and I a million times I've said it on like every episode I've probably said on this podcast, from a small town, and I love everybody that I went to high school with dearly, and I can say that because I went to school with like, there's like maybe 100 kids in my graduating class, maybe. And, I ran with the cool kids, but like, I definitely wasn't like top tier in that group. And, sometimes I feel that, man, when I go home. And that's not like a complaint or anything, because I love it here. And this is where I'm supposed to be. So it's fine. And it definitely does feel like that. Like sometimes like, all right, I've been here long enough. And for the most part, man, the people there, it's like, yeah, I don't belong here, and that's okay, because I love getting to see those people again, and I love them, and I wish them the best, but it's not where I'm supposed to be. That's for sure. There's people it's that want to hang back and be in Meaford, and that's not like they're all away at school and they're all doing incredible things with their lives. But they love it there and they want to stay. And I don't love it there, and I don't want to stay. It's a beautiful area, and I love visiting, and I feel really relaxed for the most part when I go back. But I could not stay there. I really couldn't. So I don't know what started that tirade, but I think it started with like the playing Rockstar thing. But yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I love this, and I'm happy right now, and I want to keep it that way, and I want this to be like, I want this to be our year, man. Like, I think that we've got some good support in London, and I just look at other bands that had killer 2018s, and I think like we probably could have did better, So I want to make sure that 2019 is our year, and something that I've been sitting on for a while now is just like being undeniable. I don't think that you need to be the best, but I think that if people know your name and know who you are, it's not because you did something awful. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be undeniable. Which is why I know I'm not the best vocalist, but that's why when you come and see Lost Arts, it's going to be a good show, because I'm going to do my best to leave myself out on the stage and try to reel the crowd in. But I want to perform so Nick wants to perform better, and I want to perform so Hayden wants to perform better, and Drake wants to perform better, because when I'm doing my thing and then I see that they're having fun, I do better, and which isn't like original by any means, but that's how I kind of feel. But yeah, I don't know. I think I could probably ramble about that all day. And I also I wrote one more thing down to talk about, and I just really don't think there's a point in talking about it at this point, because I didn't expect to go off. I think at the start of this, I definitely felt like I was trying to fill the time, but I don't know if that rant that I just went on for 10 minutes was any fucking good at all. And maybe I'll listen to this and this will never be seen. But if not, if you're watching it right now, I probably liked it. I probably dug it. But I just think that that's something I haven't expressed in that kind of way. That and just because they're my thoughts doesn't mean it's right. Nobody so I mean, these don't get a lot of views, right? But people don't leave feedback on them, and other than my buddy Drew and the odd random person getting a leaving a comment that's usually just this is great. But I want to know, especially these, I want to know if you like the open mic thing, and if you have any suggestions. I might do it with Julia more, or I'd love to do this with the band, or with Hayden or Nick or Drake or all of them or whatever. I think that might be fun to just do a setup and just do where doesn't have to be an interview. We can just talk about whatever for 20-30 minutes. I think that'd be fucking cool. I want to build this thing, baby. And I'm gonna think about that playlist thing. Yeah, and think about how I could do that. But it sucks, man, because I looked into changing my name on Spotify. I don't want to open a new account or anything, unless I could just do it for free. I might look into that. But if not, whatever, it'll just be under my name. Who fucking cares? As you probably saw at the start of this, and at the start of the first open mic, and at the start of the Plants episode, we got a new animation. We got a new theme song that I took off of a royalty-free site. And yeah, I don't know, man. I took the royalty-free music, and then I just threw in some pretty funny sound bites or whatever that I liked from I think I got a couple from Basic White and the Jailbirds and Ready the Prince and O Geronimo and Charlie Weber. There's probably more. I mean, there's definitely more. I've done 34 episodes now, but I don't know. Whatever, we'll probably do more. I was thinking about I need to just take the time and maybe do some highlights. I have been meaning to upload segments and shit to YouTube, which I should do. I should actually just go through. Even if I just do it from this season 2, that would not be a bad idea. I don't think at all. I just spend a day and cut them all up, and then spend a day, and because if I did whatever 10-minute clips, 5-minute clips. Yeah. It's just that, like, I run, like, everything that's on this, like, quarter of a, thing that you see. I just, like, I bought Drake's Mac Mini, and, like, I just use it for Premiere and Logic, and then, like, took that shit off my laptop. It still runs slow as fuck. Logic isn't too bad. I haven't done anything, like, too intense in Logic, other than, like, some podcasts, and, like, we did the demos or whatever, but, like, it's kind of... Premiere's like kind of shitty on Apples, to be honest, especially Mac Minis, which I knew going in, but I couldn't afford anything better. So there you go. You know, I don't know, but I'm rambling at this point. So we're gonna sign off. I like doing this, so maybe hopefully I get better. Hopefully that rant was okay. Like I said, trying to keep them likely under 30 minutes. We're going a little bit over today. But please let me know if you liked it or you hated it. Please check out Plants. Check out the episode that I did with them, and check out their new EP, What You Forgot. Follow them everywhere. And hey man, check out past episodes too. Why don't you go listen to the O Geronimo episode? I really like that episode a lot. I think that's episode 15 or 16. And go listen to Lost Arts, listen to the EP, listen to Best Wishes or Explain Me Away or whatever. And let me know what you think about that. Hit me up on Instagram. And yeah, or Instagram. I don't use Twitter because I don't understand how to use it. And we'll see you later.